Today I want to talk about the race to the middle. So Dean Barker, who is a leading CMS commentator, has been one of the people talking about the race to the middle. So what is it and what do you need to know about it? Well, if you think about CMS as sort of two distinct camps, there's a traditional or monolithic camp. WordPress would be the most synonymous with that one, which is very much an all-in-one, everything done in the one place type of solution. At the other end of the spectrum, you've got a more modern approach to CMSs, with Headless CMS being one of the more common ones, Contento being an example of that. With Headless, you're getting a decoupled front end and back end. So with Headless, it's all about the content repository being the back end, and in theory, it feeds multiple heads. What does that mean? It means you use APIs to feed data from the content repository of the database to different heads. Of course, the reality is that the head is mostly websites, but we have things like omnichannel, which means it's head agnostic essentially. The big challenge going on at the moment is the gap between the two of them is absolutely huge. The migration path is very much from traditional to headless. That's the kind of direction of travel. But when you go from this all-in-one WordPress setup where you've got your ability to manage and maintain the content, but also maintain and manage pages and design and plugins, and you try to move across to a more developer-centric approach, which is the API-based one, where essentially your front end sits outside of your setup and you have to kind of choose your own front end, as it were, and you have to basically use a best-of-breed approach. There's a huge gap between them. So what you're beginning to see is traditional CMS infrastructure is beginning to add things like APIs and other features and functionality that starts taking it towards the headless side of the fence. Headless CMS vendors on the other side are beginning to try and replicate some of the things that you get in WordPress. You're seeing a lot more like visual editors emerging that again kind of go against the grain for the pure headless approach in doing it. So you're kind of getting this meeting in the middle. So there's a race on. Can you get the benefits that you get from traditional as well as the benefits that you get from headless without the negative aspects for both? And companies like Contento are some of those early ones that are beginning to set their stake out and say, actually, we sit in the middle because we offer a best-of-breed solution that is API-led, that is headless first, but has things baked in that you get with a traditional CMS. So things like SEO, visual preview, how to manage URLs, asset managers, things like library starter kits, all the bits that you'd expect that you'd get with a traditional CMS. So hope that makes sense.